Alright, so this is pretty cool. I have a very difficult time trying to see what's on my viewfinder, but if you look at where the corner of the phone is right here, there's very beautiful like rainbow effect on that spider web. And right now, just checking out different types of rocks that are around. That's interesting. Looks like it might be obsidian. For ethical rock hounding, this is probably as close as it gets. Had something stirring in the water. I wonder what that is. Sounded like might be frog sized. Round about there. So yeah, boat landings and such, the gravel or rocks that they bring in tends to be from the area. So, you know, one of the big criticisms, and I agree, of rock hounding is that, or of taking rocks from national parks and forests and such, is that leads to habitat depletion, for lack of a better word in my head right now. But yeah, there are animals that live among these spots and wipe out a spider web that matters to the spider. It matters to the animals that eat the spiders and the animals that eat those animals. So it looks like we've got clam right there, maybe. Never been good at picking them out. But there are some cool rocks. One of the tricks and ways that I have gotten better and more rewarding results is that you start looking for just a certain type, because this one's pretty cool, but I'm not looking for that type, so that saves me some of the weight that I'm carrying, which I must admit I carry around about probably at least 10 pounds of just rocks. Although I'm switching that bag out, I've finally reached the limits of that bag's capabilities, and now it's time to get a new one and stop doing that. Help my back a little bit. So the pieces that I'm really interested in, actually here's an example of what I was talking about, is that rock looks like something I want, but forcing it and digging it is going to directly contribute to habitat loss. Looks like this is a nice chunky piece of quartz. polish out pretty cool. And when you're at a beach like this and you're doing this, I think that common guidelines are a couple handfuls of rocks. Maybe I'm just pulling that out of my ass. Sorry if there's kids listening. I realize that this channel probably appeals to a broad audience. So, that's as much rocks as we'll collect. So this is a good example of what a cattail looks like when it is opened. Oh, here is a little dragonfly. Right? There are mantises around too, and walking sticks. I used to find them in the Northwoods when I was younger. I haven't been around this area as much as I would have liked. So we'll see if I see one. That'll be a list topper for me. This is a very pretty little lake. It's funny driving through here because like every 4 miles there's another boat landing, and they're all different lakes. So looks like the Tiger Cat Flowage Pike Improvement Project. Let's spotlight what this does. So the goal is to remove 3,000 northern pike from the Tiger Cat flowage this season, 5/4/24 through Halloween 24, especially those 24 inches and under. Such selective harvest can enhance the environment for all fish populations. Data collected will be used by the DNR to evaluate further management strategies. And for the rules, there is no cost to enter. Each pike must be harvested on the Tiger Cat flowage by hook and line. Take a dated photo or verify the fish at these entry locations: Black Iron, Bobber Down, and Crest Hill Resort. You will receive 1 ticket for each fish. Fill out the required information and drop the ticket into the box. No one may enter more than 10 pike in one day. Possession limit is 10 fish in total. Note, you can only legally give pike away or eat them, and they are no longer a part of your possession. So apparently once you eat the fish, you don't get it anymore. Good to know. So here are some very pretty spider webs. Looks like there might just be a little bit of dew left to really bring these spider webs out. The really nice thing about slowing down and noticing things is that these are 2 very different types of flowers that are nearly the same color. Oh yes, there's definitely dew. So yeah, that's gonna help bring out the spider webs. Like this. God, I wish I had an idea of, yeah. Can't see anything on my phone screen while I'm recording this. I gotta update pretty soon Yeah. So this is a much more interesting situation because I can see two different types of webs. There's kind of the funnel that you see there, and then there's these other strands that are much more sparsely spread. And I wonder if those ones are either tripwire to kind of establish how things are on the territory, or if that's kind of, a little hunting ground for it. Maybe it catches things and eats them. Maybe you know the answer. If you ever see something in my videos and you want to contribute some of your knowledge, I would be greatly grateful. I really enjoy hearing back from people. And gotta say it, if you like this kind of content, please like and subscribe. I think that might be a turtle out there that I see. You'll just have to trust me. So I wonder if there are lilies. Ooh, these are pretty white flowers. Reminds me of that song by Whiskey Myers I really like. Couple of pretty flowers, what I brought to you. I saw you now in a different point of view. So that's as much singing as I'll do for you. You can rest now. So yeah, I wonder if there are some cool lilies that just open up later in the day, maybe. It's pretty neat. There are those flowers that only blossom at night. I wonder if I saw some last night. I stayed along the Teal River in the Chequamegon National Forest, northern Wisconsin. And it was really nice. I was quite surprised by the beavers that were slapping their tails on the water, because I know what it sounds like to hear a fish jump. You can hear the exit and the re-entry, but I was only hearing the single splash, and a way harder splash than what the entry and air would normally have. So I thought maybe it was like a bear pawing around, or there's elk crossings. I've never seen an elk in person, or maybe at all, really. I don't remember having had that happen. So I was wondering if that might be like an elk kicking around. Just because something isn't a carnivore doesn't mean it's not immensely dangerous. So I was wondering what it was. I was trying to keep my back turned the right direction, but what I had thought when I got there was that the best direction was to keep my back to the river so I could watch for land animals. And then they were scaring me from the river, but it was a really cool dam. I always like to see nature grow out of man-made things. Got mixed feelings about like pictures of Chernobyl, where nature has kind of reclaimed the space, but at the same time, the reason why people left is that there was an environmental disaster and lots of people died and got cancer around like 1985, I think. So I wonder what this flower looks like when it's blossoming. This is just so much lamb's ear or calf's ear. Now I'm gaslighting myself into thinking both of them are somehow correct, but I know that's not true. But there is just, I think this is called mulling. Officially, I think. I saw something on a foraging website, which foraging is something that I'm interested in and I'm trying to get into more. So I need to pick up some field guides. I had a couple bags pre-packed before, kind of like go bags that I left a paper field guide in there, and it got wet and soggy and like molded itself shut, so I had to lose that one, unfortunately. But it is a really good idea to have written field guides. You don't want to have to rely on your phone. And a useful tip is if you are lost in the woods and you only have a certain amount of battery and you can't get a call out, you should instead send a text or a message somehow, because that will give them some geographic information for where you were sending, so they can get rescuers out to you sooner, hopefully, and get you help. It's really great to be out and enjoy the natural world, but there's always the case that you might end up, needing to be pulled out by emergency services. So it's really good to know your limits so that you can prevent that sort of thing before it happens. Because Not that you aren't worth it, but every time that somebody goes missing and gets lost, other people are put in dangerous positions to try to save them. So kind of like, if you don't want firefighters to die, then be careful with fire. Definitely don't have your grill on a wood balcony. That happens every year. People get fires going on their balcony. You can lose important people, pets. It's a nightmare. I wonder what kind of mushrooms these are. I've seen so many neat different colors of mushrooms today. That's a different type of foraging, I would have to say, that I would be doing, because probably not trying to eat all the different mushrooms that I find, but it's neat to identify them and find out what they're named. And find out about what kinds of things different animals and species throughout contribute and interact with the world. So I'm gonna get back to the car before I wander off onto people's property. And yeah, this is so beautiful. You can kind of see where the boats go along, or maybe that's just the current. That is another thing that I don't have much frame of reference to distinguish anything. So, headed back to the car now. Be cool if we saw some really neat animal come splash in the water or something. I definitely heard some interesting calls in the forest last night. That was cool. A little creepy too. When I got out of the car in like this random part of the national forest, I thought I heard like distant music too. That was kind of giving me the willies, but sometimes I just hear music that isn't there. So many lilies. It's very pretty. If you have a canoe or a kayak, going through these is really, really nice. I enjoy being out on nature in quiet spaces like this. I know I got people I should have told I was going on this and brought them with, but really sometimes you got to be able to go at your own pace. And I wanted to get a lot of videoing done for the channel, so this was a very good choice, I feel. It's a pretty good amount of travel to get up here, so I definitely enjoyed that aspect of it too. Road tripping and rock hounding, those are my kinds of things. This has been a really good summer vacation. I took my first ever summer vacation. That's happening right now. And this is a successful vacation already. Got some really cool footage. Yesterday I saw a hawk. There was a cat hanging out in a 3-house town. There was a deer. There were the beavers. There was turkey vultures this morning, and then turkeys. Frog. So we'll see what other animals. I'll see if I can play the memory game and run down the whole list each time. Maybe we can do some analysis on how fried my brain is. So, back at the car, thank you for joining. I had a good time. I hope you did. And we'll check out more soon. Please like and subscribe.